those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carried.
I didn't catch the motion. Belt
was Roby. We have Dr. Elliott not coming?
He's not coming.
Okay, so Sherry's here with the medical examiner's office to discuss and approve the hiring of 2 additional medical examiner investigators.
Correct.
You wanna explain what's going on, or?
Well, just with the regular scheduling that we have the coverage on average 22 weekend shifts. That includes a Friday night every month. And
When you say, excuse me, when you say we, what's that mean?
I cover it when I do the schedule, but the team and there's 6 investigators and myself.
So there's 7 now.
Correct.
Okay.
I cover Monday through Friday, typically during the day. And then the others pick up evenings, overnights, weekends, holidays. And it's a supplemental job for all but one of them. And we've been having some difficulty with getting coverage at certain times of the year, certain events, holidays. When school starts, we really lack coverage. And if anyone, like currently we have one out on medical leave, has been for 4 months, and others have been really carrying the extra weight. They're getting burnout, and we don't want to have that happen. We've got another one going on paternity leave, and then who's going to not be available possibly with this crisis?
Right, so do you have I guess this is just, it's not really costing us any more money than at all, because you're just saying there's more
So
people.
why just 2? Why don't you have like 10 of them in the bucket?
I'm okay with that.
No, but I'm just saying, why don't you have them, I guess, what is it, they gotta be credited or certified or whatever?
Eventually, yeah.
And the ones that rise to the top and get the hours, and the ones that.
The only thing about that is if you do end up having too many, their options for getting hours in are fewer.
Right.
And there's no guarantee that you're gonna get a call, so they're not as fresh.
Well, isn't that stated to them?
Yes.
In the beginning, that
Yes.
they may not?
There's no guarantee of hours. You're on
Right.
call, but that doesn't mean you're called out, so
Well,
you
okay.
may get call pay, so, you know, it'd be
I'd
worth
probably
a
work
shot.
a different business model, but it's your department, you do what you feel comfortable with.
I'm not opposed to that, but, don't wanna overstep bounds either on hiring too many people. In the same regard. There isn't the only increase in cost yearly, cause hour for hour, it's the same work, is just additional training,
Right,
so, and that's not exponential, so.
yeah. Motion to approve 2 additional, medical examiners, investigators.
Okay, got a motion, we have a second. Any other discussion?
What are the on-call costs? Sure.
The minimum pay, when they start is $18 per hour.
Yeah,
And
but
if they,
they get on-call pay whether they go out or not.
correct, that's $1 per hour.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
I'd like to see that increase, but that's for another meeting.
Well, when you run out of getting people to do it, then we can talk about that.
Fair enough.
All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, motion carries. All right,
Thank you.
Thanks, Sherry.
Appreciate it.
But have the numbers been anything other than, I mean,
It's been status quo, if you will, ebb
Okay.
and flow. We had quite a lull, and then last week we really had quite a pickup. Not seeing a whole lot across the state, speaking with the state still, and talking to them, and the word is that the next week or 2, we might see a rush, but we may not see it scientifically proven to know that that's what it is.
because we already social distance before it started. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, David, we got you up. This is discussion to approve or disapprove payment for Central Square annual software maintenance.
I'll provide a status update on the items that remain. The big one, of course, is the Adachi interface. They did a test on Friday. 3 items passed, but 1 item failed on that test, so they are going back to the drawing board. They've told me it's high priority to get this done, so they are the last leg of this thing, but again, I don't know if it'll be next week or 2 weeks or a month, I have no idea.
That item didn't, the stuff I read didn't seem like it was a big
It wasn't a big deal, but it is an item
Was a
that
big
needs to
deal.
be resolved before they go live with it.
Okay,
So it wasn't very small, it was just an acknowledgement that a message was received.
right.
That's all it was.
Yeah.
The interface with the state courts, that is not moving at all, really. I'm waiting on a quote from Central Square for that piece because the state changed their code and that requires Central Square to change their code and it's a whole new rewrite from ground up. They'll send us a quote. I will then bring that to the group and say, and ask them if they want to go forward with this, because that's extra dollars. The reason it's extra dollars is because it's all new code, because the state changed course.
But was that originally in our deal with the state courts or not?
So this is a back and forth conversation. The original interface is in our contract, but as written, it does not match the new state's
Scope,
requirements or scope. So the
Okay.
scope changed a year after they already
Yeah.
built it. So we're stuck. I don't have any idea on the time frame of that. The APHIS mugshot piece actually is complete and will be ready Q4 of this year. So that's good news. They got
Yeah.
something done. The data conversion work is moving, but very, very slow. So I don't know how you guys feel about this. I don't know where the line is, what they accomplish, when we pay. We are getting to near the end of the fiscal year where that money's been budgeted for us, in our departments. We've got a few months left.
I think we just, I don't know.
I'm not saying we should pay, I'm just saying that's something to consider.
I'm gonna kick it till, April 28th.
Sounds good.
David,
But I think they're making some progress.
Slow, but
Well,
it's happening.
They're
They're working.
they're working and there's nothing else. They can't go anywhere or do anything, so maybe they'll work a little harder.
Yeah, and every time we have a meeting here, I tell them what the result is, so they know,
Right,
they'll know today that I'm not.
they haven't been sending us nasty grams, so.
Not a single response.
Okay.
So,
David, that Q4 you said for the mug shots,
yes,
now that was part of our original agreement, wasn't it?
yes.
Okay.
It's
Up to the interpretation.
argumentative. We believe it is, I believe it's not, but nonetheless, it's done, so,
But it'll be ready to go in Q4.
correct. We submitted it as an enhancement request, and they went ahead and fulfilled that.
So we just want to table it? till the
Yeah,
20th?
to the 20th.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, David.
Next on the agenda, we have John Rasmussen, discussion decision to
We need to
approve.
do
a motion on that?
I made the motion.
Motion to
Table
table it?
to-
Okay.
Well,
so
to postpone
Postpone.
or delay till
I know you have to make a motion for that. Okay, is there a
I'll
second?
second it.
Okay, we got a second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. All right, John Rasmussen's next, setting public hearing for vacating platted alleys in Block 3 and Block 4 of the unincorporated town of Bentley and sign resolution 46/2020
So moved.
as read here. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, roll call.
I guess the only question, John, so when these towns, I guess this town unincorporated, so when they unincorporate, then those roads and alleys default back to us?
On this one, it was platted by the railroad and never did incorporate, so there's,
That town never did incorporate, has never been incorporated?
so there's a realtor just trying to clean that up now.
Bentley was never an incorporated community. Really?
So there's a lot of railroad plats out there that we have to fix every once in a while.
But like Honey Creek and Loveland and them were incorporated at one time. Do you have to have a post office to be incorporated? I don't think so, do
You
you?
have to have a charter or something, city council.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Roll call.
So Scott, you're setting that, just as the
Yeah.
resolution says, the 28th of April.
Yeah, that's why I use that same date for David.
Okay.
Okay, Chairman Schultz,
Aye.
Supervisors Wickman,
Aye.
Bell,
Aye.
Roby. Aye.
Okay, next we have a set public hearing for vacating right-of-way on 265th Street, Section 9 of Norwalk Township. Sign resolution 47/2020.
So moved.
Okay, is there a second?
Second,
Okay, any
that's on the
discussion?
28th, also.
Okay, Wickman, Bill, any other discussion? Okay, roll call.
Chairman Schultz,
Aye.
Supervisors Wickman,
Aye.
Bill,
Right,
Groby. Aye.
Okay. That's not here, so if there's anything else we can say.
Pam's here.
Pam is.
Pam's back and
Oh,
forth.
sorry. Why'd she put Matt down?
Well,
We can switch to you now. Okay,
Matt was going to be here, but then he had to go take a tour of the facility. So
Okay.
he wasn't here.
so next we have the final plat of Coder Farms Estates subdivision situated in Garner Township and signed planning and zoning resolution 2020-04.
so moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right. Oh, Groby, any discussion, or do you have anything?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I do. John?
John left.
Oh, he left?
Do you want me to go grab it?
No, I just wanna make sure, does this final plat have any impact on our discussion about a proposed road?
Yeah,
I submitted
Okay.
with your, to Melissa, a supplement notifying, or it had John's statements in regards to that connection road. Did you get that?
I saw that.
Okay. And John and I discussed it, and he was okay with the final plat.
Okay, get a motion in a second. This resolution,
Roll
yeah,
call.
so we'll need a roll call on this one too, please.
Chairman Schultz.
Aye.
Supervisors Wickman,
Aye.
Bill,
Aye.
and Groby. Aye.
All right, next we have adding Bluebird Lane from Pioneer Trail to the road, dead ends to the official county, or official bituminous road classification in Potawatomi County, and signed resolution 44/2020 entitled Resolution for Establishing Official Bituminous Roads.
motion to approve.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion?
Yeah, so, and I think the thing that triggered it was that Doppler deal you did the other night, right?
No, this was a property owner indicated by the
Yeah,
highway.
who's that?
His name's Ronnie Kopaski.
Okay, so is that, and I haven't been out there, but is Bluebird already hard surfaced?
It is bituminous, yes.
Okay, it's, what is it, seal coat, or
It was an old asphalt, wasn't it? And
Yes,
yeah.
is it just millings, is that what it, because it's a dead
No,
end,
it was
right?
like,
it's a dead end.
Okay, so it's not very far, once you turn off the highway and go down Pioneer Trail, it's not very far, and then you take a quick left, don't you?
Yes.
Right up to the bridge, is it right up to the bridge?
I don't think you're quite to the bridge yet.
Okay,
Maybe
but
more.
it is considered a bituminous road.
Yes.
Did the owners do it?
I don't know.
I can't imagine we did a dead-end road.
I'll look it up real quick.
There was, several years ago, there was a special assessment for a road down that way. It seems
Yeah.
Bluebird seems to ring in my head.
They got another weird name road that cuts across from Pioneer to the, highway there, but it's not Bluebird, but it's,
Berry Hill.
yeah, there you go. I knew it had to be.
That's by the barber shop, right?
Yeah, Berry Hill, but that one's not.
That is not
Okay,
an official bituminous, no.
okay,
Bluebird Lane,
I'll go down by it.
yeah, it's
I can keep social distancing when I go by it.
it's right, like,
Yeah.
when you go there, it's pretty
First
much right
left.
there, yeah.
Okay.
I used to ride my bike down when I was a kid. Okay. Guess we need a roll call on this one.
Chairman Schultz.
Aye.
Supervisors Wickman,
Aye.
Bill,
Aye.
Groby. Aye.
All right, next on the agenda, we have Jana, Director of Human Resources. Discussion or decision to approve COVID-19 disaster compensation policy.
Good morning. In 2011, when floods came through, there was a disaster compensation policy put in place to allow exempt employees who are working over 45 hours in a week to receive straight time pay and/or comp time. exempt employees can't receive comp time, so I've taken that out. So what I'm presenting to you today is those exempt employees who are working COVID-related situations, who are working more than 45 hours in a week to receive straight time pay. That has been ranging anywhere from 10 to 30 hours extra per week, depending on the individual and the role. Another piece to consider with that as well is that some of these individuals are also losing vacation time because they're at their maxes. They can't be taking vacation time. Depending on how this goes, they could potentially lose their personal days as well, which end at the end of this fiscal year. So I would ask that we consider either allowing them to go above the vacation days or holding those personal days, something else in line with that.
Where's the worksheet on this?
What do you mean the worksheet?
On the individuals and the times and stuff? For the
Well,
last
it's not tracked anywhere right now because they just, when they go and do their time for this past pay period, they put in 8 hours. So they're not, we would start tracking it, but that's why I
So
think
are you predating it, post-dating it?
No.
What are we doing here?
Well, it would start, we would, if approved,
Next pay
we would start it Monday. So yesterday was the start of a new pay period,
It would start at Monday,
right?
so isn't it also reimbursable if, not overtime, but regular time, if they're part of this presidential declaration?
I mean, I think that we're hoping that some of this will be reimbursed.
Yeah, you have to
from FEMA.
track, so it is, you have to track the
Yeah.
hours.
Yep, so we'll
that
begin
work.
tracking the hours once approved.
So I mean, we could potentially be reimbursed for 75% of.
So why wouldn't we go back from the day of the declaration and be tracking that from then till now and going forward?
So I believe that that would be up to the board. If you want to go back and
I mean, I'd
date
be fine
this,
with that.
and we pay them for the time that they worked last week and the week before.
You're only talking a couple employees anyway, right?
Well, I don't know, that's what
You're
I.
talking
I
Garfield
don't-
and Nick and maybe a handful of others, but.
Yeah, Matt, Maria, Garfield, Nick. Who? Jake's, not exempt, so he already gets overtime. So, yeah, but we're gonna have a new tracking system for him now too, to track these hours. I don't know if there's anything that Leanne is doing that's.
I think the challenge is gonna be trying to figure out if we know how many hours they work. So I would say we try to start it at the declaration, but we need to be realistic and people can't just be saying, well, I worked 15 hours a day.
In the last 2
Right.
years.
So I would say we obviously need to get a handle on the tracking from Monday forward, and then we need to try to work with them to see if they can actually calculate what they worked prior to that. I think we should go back to the date of the declaration though. Cause I mean, from my recollection, we other than Matt and Maria were right in. Nick and Garfield came on within a few days of that to
Okay.
help do some of this stuff, so.
And so we're saying to go back to the date of the declaration is not just tracking it, but also we're gonna pay them?
Yeah, if you can figure out the hours, but I mean, you might not be able to,
Sure, I will work with them on that.
but I'm sure they'll sort that
Yeah,
out.
we need to have that
You
discussion.
know, they could probably go back through some
once
emails and figure it
we
out.
See
you
what
know.
it is. And then who is going to be simulating that data?
The tracking of it?
Yes.
Well,
You-
most, if not all of them are in ESS, so we can put a different code, a different pay code in ESS to track it. But I think you have two different things. Do you want them to track all of the hours that they've done for COVID or all of the hours above 40 that they've done for COVID? Because those are two different things. We're already paying them 40 hours a week, right? As exempt employees, we're already paying them. But for later, for reimbursement, do we need to track?
But if they're not doing their normal function, then we should be tracking it.
Well, I think a lot of them are doing their double duty. I mean, Nick is still doing his regular job.
They're not even
Garfield-
open.
I'm sorry?
They're not open.
They're still.
Well, you're doing it remotely, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're,
They're still reaching out to
No, I know, but
our vets and taking calls, and
he'll have to even wear the two hats then if he's doing COVID.
he's very talented.
No, I understand.
no, but what
I
he's basically
understand.
saying is if he's working 8 hours as his regular job, you can't dual those hours. You're either 8 hours at county or 8
Yeah,
hours
I
doing
mean,
COVID.
I can't.
So
He's required by statute to put in 40 hours at the VA.
So I say we do above and beyond 45 for COVID is what we should track for this. Now, unless someone is dedicated to that purpose, which would be like Maria, Matt, those ones we need to track as hours that we're gonna get reimbursed from
Track it
COVID.
both ways,
Right.
overtime and, okay, got it.
Because we've put Pam in charge to do Matt's whole.
This might be a good question for your is it Wednesday your deal? That ISAC's having?
It's tomorrow, yes.
Yeah, it might be a good question for them on what everybody's doing, so we don't end up not following the rules. If
What
there are
time was
any
it,
rules.
9:00? 9:30, 9:00.
9 o'clock.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah,
You can't, I mean, even though you are probably doing both hats, you can really only charge. It's gonna have to be above and beyond your regular hours, which if our policy says 45, then that's that, but.
We had 45 in 2011 is what it
okay.
was, so.
Well, we can, after tomorrow, we may just have to revisit this.
Yeah.
Depending on what's said at that deal with ISAC and those people.
So are we holding on this?
No, I mean, we can.
No, we'll move forward
We
if
can,
there's a change.
we can do it, but if we're not doing it right, we're gonna need to fix it.
Sure.
But we should have been counting for it from, and it's not your fault.
And they may already be, I mean, I had asked Garfield and Jake when this all first started to track their time in a spreadsheet on their own, what is COVID related and what is not, and so everyone might already be doing that, but I'll definitely follow up with them to get that straight. The thoughts on vacation and personal days?
Now this would only, affect those who are involved in the COVID-19 response, which is our public health people and Nick, that's it, right?
And Garfield,
Okay,
right.
do we need to identify them?
So do we have to make an exemption within our policy for this? If we're gonna do something for, what'd you say, vacation and comp time or vacation what?
Vacation, personal days.
And personal days?
So that can be revisited, right? I mean, right now, this policy, you just wanted to make it so we can pay them straight time pay after the 45 hours, right?
Yes, we
After
would like to do
45.
that. Then it was also, Matt sent me an email this morning and said, hey, something I was thinking about, cause he is at his cap of vacation. And I don't know where everyone else is, I wouldn't be surprised if Garfield is as well, and so they can't take vacations and
Yeah,
no longer.
so I wanna
earn
bring
time.
something up to you, because this is
Yes.
what got us in trouble years ago. And we ended up paying Matt's predecessor a substantial amount of money, and she took about 6 months off. You know, and because we allowed her to continue getting this overtime, Doug Reed did the same thing.
Okay.
So what I wanna make sure we do is that, I guess if this policy doesn't have anything about vacation in it, let's not worry about that right now. I think we should revisit that later.
Okay.
Is that what's the case?
Sure, that's fine.
Okay,
Yes.
cause I think you need to get your ducks in a row on
But
that
still,
piece, and then
with
we can
that
go
being
back to this.
said, we need to have a way to track that, because if we decide as a board to settle on that outside of the policy, then we still need to know what those are. We can't wait and try to go back to 1992 or whatever, some date in time and try to figure it out again.
Okay.
You know, we know now, and it ain't that far back, how far we gotta go back to get those and stuff.
Okay.
But, that situation with, the flood was, a little unique in the sense that they were doing things different in that flood than now they're doing
Well,
with
right.
with
Yeah, I
the
mean,
2019 flood, so.
I mean, there was like, these people were retiring, you know, all of a sudden we owed them like $50,000 of, you know, vacation time. It was insane.
And I believe, so when I look back at hers, she was allowed to earn comp time as part of this disaster
Right.
Yeah, we-
compensation, but exempt employees should not be allowed to earn
Right,
comp
we
time
fixed
ever.
that. I just wanna make sure we
Right.
we understand what the vacation side of this. But I think for the policy's sake, I think we just go ahead and approve it. If you get changes tomorrow in your
Yeah,
ISAC meeting, let us know. We can put it back on the agenda to fix whatever we need to fix, and then.
so moved.
Okay. Second. All right, any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carried. All right, thanks, Gina, appreciate it. Next on there, we have Lee and Gifford. Discussion decision to allow Black Hills Energy to store equipment and supplies on county property identified as parcel number 754436188001. Is that up off number 16?
From what date
It's
to what date?
actually,
It's right over here,
Right off of the.
Oh,
viaduct.
right, okay.
right on Ninth Avenue, on
Is the city okay with that?
We
yeah,
own it.
yeah, it's
So they thought the city owned it, Black Hills Energy thought the city owned it, so they were discussing it with the city, and then the city said, no, it's the county's property.
yeah. Always
What are they
is.
storing there?
Well, I assume they're, what do they call that when they set up their stuff?
They're
Staging?
installing
Staging.
16-inch gas pipelines
Oh,
throughout the
this is
city,
Okay,
and so they want to store equipment and supplies
Supplies there.
for that purpose.
Yep.
It'll
What's-
be from, they plan on starting May 18th. The
May
finish
18th,
date would be October 15th.
October
It won't take
15th.
them that long, but those are the parameters. I have a short-term lease agreement drafted up. I have not presented it to the representative from Black Hills yet. I didn't know if you guys wanted to charge any lease fee on this. They will be responsible for regrading the property, reseeding it, basically putting it back into good condition once they leave. And I'm also requiring them to have any, liability insurance during this time.
Okay, so from May 18th to October 15th, 2020, is that what
Right,
goes in?
I actually put May 15 in what I'm proposing, so if they want to start bringing equipment in a little bit sooner.
So
Because I
May
didn't know if
15th,
18th was when they wanted to start doing the work, and sometimes they need to bring supplies a day or two earlier.
yeah, yeah.
So we want to make sure that, we're talking about that's right south of the election building?
No,
Oh.
no.
Oh, okay.
She's over on the other side of the South Expressway. She's on the west side of the South Expressway
Okay,
on 7th Street.
Actually,
Okay.
I believe it's off of 6th Street. I think it's on the east side of the South Expressway.
okay.
That isn't the one I saw.
I saw it, when I saw it, it was on the east side.
So it's right by the building we got with the house,
Just north of it.
across from the senior center?
Yes.
Oh, I could've sworn when I looked up that parcel, it was on the west side there. Okay. Cause that's a big empty lot over there on that side too.
Do we own that? On the other side, we also own that side?
I would assume so. You know, I mean, when the state come through and if the city won't take it, then stuff usually defaults to us for whatever reason.
You want a motion for that?
Yeah.
Mr. Schultz?
yes,
I'll do that for you.
Second.
all right.
At no cost, as
Yep.
long as they fulfill their obligations in the lease to maintain the property and bring it back up to the way it was
Right.
before.
Should we, is there something we should, ask them for, $5,000 security bond in case they don't come in and put the grass back and do that? There wouldn't be a lease, it'd just be, we say, just in case you don't, then here, we're gonna execute on your,
I wouldn't, that's not part of my motion.
okay.
Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye. Okay.
What?
Did we get a second?
Yeah,
Okay.
Aye.
Okay, need a motion to adjourn.
so
Wait,
moved.
hold on 1 second, if I can. What?
Let's go.
Okay. 9 years ago, Saturday. In Afghanistan. You were there. Grant Maher died. I wish we could, call it Grant Maher Day for Saturday. Can you make that happen?
We need to do a resolution to do that, but yeah, we can do something like that. We'd have to. Yeah, we'll just reconvene a meeting this week and we'll get it done.
Thursday?
We'll take care of that.
That's it.
All right, thanks,
Motion
Tim.
to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Do you have anybody watching?
I got up to 12 at one point.
So we have 12 employees
Probably
watching.
staff and the recorder and the auditor.
Tim, I just gotta take a phone call real quick and I'll talk to you in a second.